Hello, everyone, and welcome to 100 Football Sports Talk Radio. I'm your host, Logan Landers, and today I'm doing a 2022 team preview for the Dallas Cowboys. So, if you enjoy this video, this episode, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. We go live each and every single week on Facebook and YouTube. Check out our podcast as well. Thanks to the Believe Podcast Network, Apple Podcast, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Overcast. Do you have an Alexa or Google Home device? Just say, hey, Alexa, hey, Google, play 100 football, and guess what? It'll do it just like magic. You gotta love technology, right? So go there, leave us a review, leave us a comment, and most importantly, please go share the show. Let people know we're talking about them boys, the Cowboys today, as well as our amazing other team previews we've done. Yes, we're already doing draft specials, ladies and gentlemen, for 2023, the earliest out there. And then also our amazing history specials, legend interviews, and a whole lot of other tremendous football content you can find on 100 Football on our Facebook, YouTube, or on our podcast. Go over there and check us out. Let's get into it, right? The Cowboys 2022 team preview. So the Cowboys, let's talk about them boys. And we know that last year was a good season. It just ended a little bit rough, we'll say. 12-5 overall, did pretty solid, and then just a tough loss in the wild card against the 49ers. So you're hoping that 22 can go a little bit smoother for your team, for your players, right? We have Coach McCarthy, Kellen Moore, offense coordinator, Dan Quinn back at DC. So looking good there, the coaching staff. And for the team, right, they've lost a few players, but they have also gained some. So some of the ones who they have lost, Lyle Collins, Randy Gregory, Amari Cooper is gone, Reggie Robinson, Keanu Neal is gone as well. Cedric Wilson Jr. went to the Dolphins along with Connor Williams. You lost Maurice Kennedy. You lost Greg the Leg Zerline. Also Brett Urban and DeMonte KZ going to the Steelers. However, you've gained a few players, mostly a lot of re-signings this upcoming year. You got Dante Fowler from the Falcons, James Washington, the receiver from Pittsburgh, and also Ryan Nall, the running back from the Chicago Bears. Re-signed a good bit of players: DeMarcus Lawrence, Leighton Vander Esch, Carlos Watkins, Jerron Kearse, Noah Brown, Brian Anger, Jake McQuaid, Jeremy Sprinkle, Malik Hooker, Michael Gallup, of course, Dorrance Armstrong Jr., Dalton Schultz, and Luke Gifford, to name a few. All of those guys are coming back for the upcoming 2022 season. Looking at this team, of course, you got the quarterback everyone knows, everyone loves. You got Dak Prescott, and people are still waiting for Dak, man. I mean, I know, he had that injury, not this past season, but the one prior that he was coming off of, and this past 2021 season, right, did a pretty solid job. 4,449 yards in total, 37 touchdowns, 10 INTs, a solid 68.8% completion percentage, highest in his career. So that injury didn't prove to be a whole lot of discrediting him and hurting him a lot in the long haul in terms of a season-wide effort. So you hope that was just a glance at what can happen this upcoming season. I think Dak is a great quarterback. He earned his money, and he showed it last year coming off that bad injury to his leg. He's still a very good very good quarterback. And talking about running backs, now we're going to talk about Ezekiel Elliott. 2021, 1,002 yards in total, 4.2 average, 10 touchdowns on the year. So a bit of a slump these last two seasons, right? We know 19, he had a really good year. Also 18 had a really good year. And I know the touchdowns were up, right? 10 is still a great number, third highest in his career. But he's having a roller coaster type of career. And I say that because he'll go 1,000 yards, then dip under, then 1,000 yards, dip on. You know what I mean? So it's back and forth. And he barely cracked the 1,000-yard plateau last season. So we'll see how he can do, if he can bounce back, if we have a better running game this upcoming year. Because Tony Pollard did very well last year. Let's not roll him out. He was very solid as the backup running back. 130 carries for 719 yards, 5.5 average. He did have two scores as well. But, I mean, he did great. In about 100 less carries, he ran for 300 yards less. And if he would have gotten that 100 more, I think he probably would have beat that. He would beat Ezekiel in terms of total yards. So it's going to be interesting. I think they could implement more of that two-headed monster, that backfield for Dallas, and maybe take some of the load, a little bit more of that load off of Zeke, because you might just have to. Because Pollard is right there, and he looked really good. You hope they can continue this upcoming year. But also looking at this team, right? The offensive line. You got Steele, Zach Martin, Tyler Biadasz, Tyler Smith, the brand new, the draftee who they got, and then Tyron Smith. And also smart guys they drafted, right? Jalen Tolbert, Mr. Freifogel, gotta love the name. Matt Waltzko, Jake Ferguson, just a few, John Ridgeway, and a bunch of others they've drafted. And talking about the defense now, right? Because the offense, I think, will be fine. It's good you got Gallup, you got CD, you got James Washington, who's going to be a nice third. It is going to hurt, right, that you did lose Amari Cooper. Those three were tremendous. But I think that Tolbert, Noah Brown, and Fehiko can really kind of step it up as those other guys on that wide receiving room who can step up and get some more yards this upcoming year. Let's go over the defense, though. You got DeMarcus Lawrence holding it down, right? We all know he's been up to, looking super good. Dante Fowler's coming over. We'll see how much time he can get. Pretty decent for the Falcons last year. He just couldn't get much sacks. That's the thing. So he'll probably be in a backup role. Gallimore, Ozwiku, Dorrance Armstrong, of course, Van Der Esch, Parsons, Rookie of the Year, right? We all know what he did last year. Tremendous 2021 season. Anthony Brown, Jaron Curse, Malik Hooker, Trayvon Diggs. We all know how he was on an island last year, looking dominant, getting all those interceptions. Then Jordan back there as well, Jordan Lewis. So I think the Cowboys are looking solid coming into 22. Looking at their schedule, their first game of the year against the Buccaneers, that's going to be a tough one. Then you got the Bengals week 2, looking for a nice win there. The Giants week 3, the Commanders week 4, the Rams week 5, week 6 the Eagles, week 7 the Lions, week 8 the Bears. They have a bye in week 9. Week 10, you got the Packers, 11 the Vikings, 12 the Giants, 13 the Colts, 14 the Texans, 15 the Jaguars, 16 the Eagles, 17 the Tennessee Titans, and to be determined, right, Washington Commanders week 18. Looking at this team in general, right, in a grand scheme of things, I think Dallas is going to be solid this year, but that's not the main issue. I know they didn't make a whole lot of big acquisitions. They didn't get a whole lot of brand new players. Right? They lost a good bit. But the NFC East has gotten stronger, man. I mean, the Eagles might have had the best draft in this past year. They look great. The Giants are on the up and up, right? They had a good draft as well. We'll see how those guys can do. And also the Commanders, right? They're hoping to pick things up there with their brand new quarterback. And it's going to be a little bit tougher, I think, for Dallas. I think that they could potentially get into the playoffs. I don't think there's going to be an easy of a time as it was last year. And I could see Dallas. I think the two main teams battling for that NFC East crown, I think it's going to be Philly. It's going to be Dallas. I think those two are going to duke it out the whole season. I think it'll be a close race. And I don't know how to call it. I really don't, because I mean, like I said, we haven't seen any games yet. These are just previews. So I think that those two are going to be the top two in the NFC East. But if you think the Commanders, maybe even the Giants, will be in that mix, please put it in the comments, everyone. And so we go live each and every single week: Facebook, YouTube, podcast. Check it out: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, iHeartRadio, etc., etc. Go over there, leave us a review, let us know what you think. If you think the Cowboys can win it all this year, will this be the first time since the 90s they get one? We love to hear it. Like I said, if you have a suggestion for another team, another player you want us to talk about, put it in the comments. We'll get to it on a future episode. I'm your host today, Logan Landers. Have a tremendous day, tremendous weekend, everyone. And we will talk to you again on another live episode of 100